Back. Episode 98. Let me make this adjustment here. It's the Nooner. Took a little week hiatus. Jose Garza shows up. Good to see you, buddy. James, nice to see you as well. Thank you guys in advance for the favors, the likes, the restreams, the retweets, the re-everything. Speaking of tweets, how you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. Episode 98 of the Nooner. I'm your host. My name is David Bradley. And this is the Nooner, where I come in live every weekday, Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to be dropping a little bit of a noontime nugget about sales, business, and life. Today we're going to be looking at 5 ways to enhance value. What are some ways, what are some things that you can do immediately, right now, to enhance value and the experience that you deliver to your clients? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So, what's the Nooner all about? Well, every weekday, Monday through Friday, I'm going to roll in here about 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time, and I'm going to drop you some motivation, some fuel for your brain. If you had fuel for your belly, I'm going to give you some fuel for up here. So, that's what we're going to cover. I'm 2 away from 100. What should we be talking about on the 100th episode? Let's get started, man. Oops. So I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. As I mentioned, I'm David Bradley. 3 things you want to know about me. Number 1, I'm a sales and marketing manager with Grant Cardone. I've been working with Grant since March of 2011. Grant's technology took me from barely surviving in sales to thriving in it. So I got an opportunity to share this with other people, and when that popped up, I was all in. Okay, 2 other things on me. Oh, in case you don't know, if you don't know who Grant Cardone is, that's my fault, not yours, and I apologize directly. But Grant Cardone is a New York Times best-selling author, real estate mogul, and sales business expert. What we do at Cardone Training Technologies is we increase production for companies of all shapes and sizes, from little individual, smaller solopreneurs, all the way up to large Fortune 500 companies. We can do that to the tune of 15, 30%, sometimes more in a very short period of time, 60 to 90 days. Number 1, by helping to find and then handle missed opportunity. Laura, hola. Bienvenidos a la The Nooner. Mi amo es David. Okay, that's enough of that. Screwing around, Spanish. Okay, so 2 other things on me. I'm the author of a book called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. I smoked the cigarettes for 15 years, couldn't figure out a way to quit, but I did find a way to stop, and that's what that book is all about. So if you smoke, you know someone who does, you got the monkey on your back, you got a habit you need to break, check out stopdon'tquit.com. Great website for that. 3rd thing about me is I'm the founder of a hashtag called Rich Man's Gym. This is all about home-based strength and conditioning for body, mind, and spirit. This is the 2nd book I'm working on. The goal is to have it completed end of March. So shortly thereafter, we should be able to offer it to the public for sale. So let's get into the nitty and the gritty today, shall we? 5 ways to enhance value. So every Monday, what I like to do on Mondays is sort of just go back and debrief Grant Cardone's strategy of the week, which usually goes out the prior Thursday or Friday. So do you have a notepad? Like this one. Okay? If you don't, grab one, get something to write down, because we're taking notes today. So what we want to do is, look, one of the first things I learned from Grant very early on was that there can only be one lowest price. Okay? Simple. Think about it for a second. Why would you compete to be that, right? So what are some things that you can do to enhance value? So we're just going to run down a series of questions here. What are you doing to enhance your value? Not your company's value, yours, in the marketplace. Okay? That's the first question. So maybe just write the question down and then brainstorm the answers for yourself later. Okay. Second question: how skilled are you at identifying what the buyer is trying to accomplish? So if you're selling something, what is your skill set for determining what's important to them, why they're here, why now, what's going on? Okay. Third thing: can you demonstrate with full conviction, not a little conviction, not some conviction, full conviction, that your product is worth well more than the price you're asking? Meaning, if the product is worth $12, can you demonstrate to somebody that it's worth $240? If it's worth $240, can you demonstrate $48,000? If it's worth $48,000, can you demonstrate that it's worth $160? $170. Okay. Fourth thing: are you committed to helping your buyer and then do whatever it takes to solve their problem? Okay. So like Jose Garza here, my man. Okay. He knows that his product helps people, saves lives. He knows that. Okay. And he's committed to doing whatever it takes to solve their problem, whatever that may be. Whether that's maybe type 2 diabetes, maybe that's obesity, maybe that's just, I'm out of shape. Okay. Do you know how much? No. Do you know how to make sure if you're on the right product or not? Most people, when they go into a store to looking to buy something, they've got something in mind, but it's probably not the right thing. Right? Like you go into the store and you think you're a 42 short, and when you start trying stuff on, you realize, oh, so I've lost a little bit of weight. I'm actually a 40 short. Or I've gained some weight, I'm a 44 short. Right? You're on the wrong product. I was in the auto industry for a very, very long period of time. More often than not, people came in looking for one thing, and as we got a little deeper into it, we realized probably not the right car. Okay? Do other people have a hard time getting money from you? Okay? Do other people have a hard time getting money from you? It's a challenging question. Very, very important. Think about that for a second. Okay? So these are questions and challenges that Grant brings up in his strategy of the week from last week. And in sales, money will find the people who perceive value, not the lowest price. Okay, so here's the exact quote. In sales, money will find what people perceive as valuable, not the lowest price. Okay? So if you are in the marketplace, you need to deliver a huge perception of value. Your client base needs to see this guy delivers more value. Okay? So if you read this book, Sell or Be Sold, Grant asked the question, do you want to be a Ritz-Carlton or do you want to be a Motel 6? Okay? So if your prospect is not completely convinced of the usefulness of the product or service, that it actually solves their problem and brings real value, and they're not confident about it, that it's going to make them happy, they're probably not going to hook up. Price is the last thing they're concerned with, even though they may open this thing with, I need a good price. What's your best price? What can you do for me? Okay? Somebody just popped in with an avatar that looks like Adolf Hitler. Welcome. Who is that? That's interesting. Gulag. Welcome, Gulag. Interesting avatar, man. So, look, selling on price alone, if you or your company is very price-centric, okay? I mean, look, unless you're Walmart or like a dollar store where you can afford to buy and sell just mass quantities on this very, very low margin, it's probably not going to hold up for you. Stability, solvency. We talked about solvency a couple weeks ago on the internet, right? It's not the way to solvency. So here's the quote from Grant. Selling on price is an indication of a weak-minded and poorly trained individual or organization. So let me just repeat that. Selling on price is an indication of a weak-minded and poorly trained individual or organization. So when that happens, when you go there, when that's all there is, Nick Organ shows up. Good to see you, Nick Organ. Nice to see you, man. So if you're not really clear on your product, your service, what value it brings to the marketplace, and how to present that to people, then you're going to have a hard time getting them to give you money. Okay, and it becomes very easy to ask questions like, well, what would it take to earn your business? You really shouldn't be asking that question, right? So there have been a lot of companies that just use low price as a model for driving traffic and then sticking to that, and then consequently they're not in business anymore. So here's the problem with a low price, with just being the lowest price. It can convey a reduction in value to the client. Another thing you get out of this book. Grant suggested if somebody tells you that the product that they're looking at is too much, well, what if you showed them something of an even greater value? So let's say whatever product you're on a widget, and that widget costs $4,000. The client says, man, that's a lot of money, man. Yeah, exactly. And if that's a lot of money, why don't you consider widget 2.0? That's actually $8,000. It comes with A, B, C, and D. And yes, while it is more money, it probably wouldn't affect your payment by more than, I don't know, $80. Would you consider that? No. Keep showing them some stuff that's too expensive, because that will help them make sense of the cheaper. Make sense? Okay? So, they need to be able to see the value. They need to see that if you're looking at a book that costs $30, that it's not a $30 book. That there's $30 million in this book. If you read it and understand it and apply it, that this book could be worth $1 million to you. $30 million, right? 30,000. It doesn't really matter, right? We know people, we have clients that have gotten on this book and seen 30, 40, 60, 240% increase in their own production. So the book is worth more than $30. There's more value in the book than the price of the book. Otherwise, nobody would buy it. Okay? There's more value in the price to go to Disneyland than the price of the ticket. Same thing with the movie ticket. There's more value. Disneyland's smart, right? Now, you can buy 2 tickets. One for Disneyland, one for California Adventure. Put them together, it's a lot of money. But it makes sense of the other 2 tickets individually, though, doesn't it? So look, here's 5 things you can do that relate back to the questions I asked earlier. And if you're just joining us, okay, and you want to catch this from the beginning, later on today, roll over to youtube.com/Cardone Solutions. There's a playlist over there called The Nooner, where there's 97 of these other things that you can watch. And then if you missed it from the beginning, you'll be able to catch it then. Okay? So 5 things you can do right now in your business to enhance value. Okay, here's the first thing. Do a better job of identifying what the buyer is trying to accomplish with your product. So Grant says here, great question to ask. What is the number one thing you want this product to do for you, or what is the number one thing you want this product to help you with? Okay, when I'm talking to a client about Cardone University or Cardone On Demand, I'll say something to the effect of, hey, what are some of the top challenges that your salespeople are struggling with right now that are driving you nuts, that may be costing you money, you know? And we can have a conversation about that so I understand how to present the product in a way that shows real value to him. If follow-ups is concerned and I'm talking to him about prospecting, like, it won't be real and there won't be any value. Make sense? 2, demonstrate how your product's worth is greater than the price you're asking for it. Okay, so when I first got in the auto industry, people talked about doing a double dollar demonstration. Okay, this is the 10x world. Okay, so I'm saying 10x the value. So if you're doing a product, if it's a $10 product, you better be doing a $100 demonstration. Okay, if it's a $100,000 product, you better be doing a $1 million demonstration. Follow? Okay, that's going to take practice, it's going to take time, and it's going to take creativity. 3. You guys getting these so far? Okay, 3. You want to demonstrate how your product will sufficiently solve problems. Okay, because the number one reason people buy anything is to... People buy for 2 reasons, man. Number 1 is to solve a problem. Okay, and then number 2, it's for love and to feel good. That's why I go to the movies. It makes me feel good. I saw 13 Hours last night. You guys seen this movie? Whew, fantastic. Okay. Do I feel like I got my money's worth? Yeah. Okay. So if your customer does not believe one of these 2 things, that they love it, or that it brings them the sense of love, or makes them feel good, and it doesn't solve a problem, they're not hooking up. So, great question to ask people. We ask this all the time, especially if you need to figure out where you're at in the process. Is this guy digging on me? Is this guy digging on the product? Where is this guy at? Right? Hey man, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate this product? Scale from 1 to 10, 1 being you wouldn't do it if I gave it to you, 10 being you're ready to roll right now. Where are you sitting, man? Just curious. Oh, Laura, yeah, you like 13 Hours? You saw that movie? It was a good movie, right? Okay, so number 4. Be sure that the proposition you're presenting is within the customer's financial means. Having somebody on too much product, literally, that they can't afford, is going to get you, and then you get locked on it, and then you're going to get stuck having to give a discount. So you want to present multiple options. So we were talking about the $4,000 widget. So we're going to show a widget that's more. We'll show a widget that's less. Maybe we'll show a package down, right? So instead of widget A, it's widget B4. I don't know. But you want to show them multiple alternatives so that they can save face and grab onto something, right? Number 5. Be thoroughly versed in the fact that price is a myth. Now, the only way to do this effectively, Lydia shows up. Boom, now we can start. Good to see you, Lydia. Welcome back. I'm welcoming myself back. Thank you for being here. So look, the deal that price is a myth, that's in this book. There's a whole chapter on price being a myth. Chapter 6 talks about moving people up, not down in inventory. Talks about how it's never price. There's an experiment that you can do with it. Okay. Look, man, how much do you know what I pay for coffee at Starbucks? $5.25. That's for a grande bone dry quad cappuccino. I can get coffee at like 7-Eleven for like $1.25. I get more. But Starbucks puts something in it, makes it worth the $5.25, don't you? I don't know what they put in it, but they got something in there. Daddy bought stock. Okay, Starbucks is a good company. They understand value, and they understand that price is a myth because they can happily sell you a $6, $7 latte over and over and over and over again. It's not about the money. It's about the fact that it's good, tastes good when you're there. For the most part, it's a really good experience. The store is cool. They got bitchin' music. It's just a nice, comfortable place to be, and they're all over. It's a good business model, kids. Okay, but you got to recognize that people do not buy things strictly on price, no matter what they tell you. It's always to either solve a problem or because it makes them feel good. And when you can dial into that, when you can connect with them on a real human level and understand how this product solves their problem, and you understand what their problem is, and you can deliver them that good feeling of love, money's not the issue anymore. It's let's roll, let's do this, okay? So if you need to get clear on that, because we're not going to get you clear on it on a 20-minute nooner, you know what I'm saying? You need to read this book, okay? So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, it's right down there. There's a link to it. Okay? If you want to go check it out on the internet, watching this right now, go to this website, sellerbesold.info. Okay? Now, if you're not a reader, okay, because some people, forget it, not a reader. Me, I'm a reader. I read every morning from like 6 to 7. I'm reading something. Okay? That's not everybody. You're good. Okay? Sellerbesold.info will also show you how to get this on MP3 so you can listen to it in the car, or check out CardoneUniversity.info where you can get this in video, where Grant literally talks about these concepts conversationally. Okay, and when you're done watching them, we're going to test you on it. Okay, that's at CardoneUniversity.info. Okay, you want to get access to any of these things? You want to have a conversation with me about it? Feel free to reach out to me. 310-777-0352, or you can call my, that's my direct line. You can email me, david@grantcardone.com. But either way, the mission, should you choose to accept it, is to get clear on what? The price myth. Boom. Okay, so that's episode 98 of the Nooner. There's 5 ways I gave you, 5 of them, that you can use to enhance value right away. Do you remember what they are? We're going to do a better job of identifying what the customer wants to accomplish with the product. Number 2, we're going to demonstrate that the product is worth way more than what we're asking for it. We're going to show them how it solves their problems, makes them feel good, and do it with love. Okay, 4. The proposition that we're presenting is within the customer's financial means. They can actually afford it. Okay. 5. Price is a myth. Okay. 5 ways to enhance value with your clients. This has been episode 98 of the Nooner. Good to be back. We'll see you guys tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about a different trait of a great salesperson. I'm your host, David Bradley. This has been episode 98 of the Nooner, 5 ways to enhance value. See you tomorrow, and be great, because nothing else pays. At least not much. See you guys.